Hello every butt stallions, handsome Jack Boy here, bringing you guys the 15th episode of my Borderlands Legendary Weapons Guide Remastered series. And in this episode, I'm going to be covering the Equalizer. The Equalizer is a legendary TDO revolver, and the prefix for mine is Savage Equalizer. The prefix for you guys might change. Now, as you can see there in the red text, it says Unending Firepower. That means that the Equalizer has ammo regeneration. Now, before anything else, I do want to say that at the start of this footage, I am using the Rifleman class mod, which doesn't give me any sort of ammo regeneration. Normally, what I do is I have out my Support Gunner class mod, but since that gives me ammo regen, I just figured, let's let the Equalizer do all the work because, well, that's its main special effect. And don't worry about the fact that I switched to the Rifleman class mod. I know that doesn't really have much to do with this gun. It's actually meant for rifles, but hey, whatever. I'm going to switch to the Heavy Gunner comm later in the footage. But anyways, reading under the usage and description section, here on the wiki for the Equalizer, it says, like all TDO legendary weapons, the Equalizer is capable of regenerating ammo when equipped. It is of decent quality, but not spectacular. That said, elemental equalizers are useful for fighting enemies that are vulnerable to that element, because revolvers will always proc ×1 at minimum, and the equalizer will never run out of ammunition. It also can be extremely useful when fighting against bosses with large amounts of health, as it deals average damage and will not run out of ammo. Now, my opinion about the Equalizer, this thing is pretty good, and with the right prefix and parts, you can do a lot of damage with it. In this case, I have one with the masher attachment, which pretty much turns it into a shotgun. It adds 6 more pellets to every shot, but since it turns it into a shotgun, it's not going to have the greatest accuracy, right? Like that's kind of one of the drawbacks of having a masher attachment, but the one I have doesn't have that bad of accuracy. It's actually pretty good. You'll see here that I do take out enemies at pretty far range, like right here is a good example. I'm just taking these guys out at range really quickly. Now, you also may have noticed that I switched to the Heavy Gunner comm back there, and I'm doing a lot more damage. The fire rate has increased substantially, especially with that kill skill of mine, where when I kill an enemy, it increases my fire rate for a short amount of time. Man, it makes this gun so much better, even though it was already good to begin with. I do recommend trying to find a masher variant of the Equalizer. This gun, I can't imagine it on Mordecai. I bet it would just beast, especially with the masher attachment. Oh man, I gotta try that, or I at least gotta see some gameplay of that. Overall though, this gun is pretty good. I do enjoy using it. I don't use it a whole lot on Roland though, just because I've got ammo regeneration skills and class mods that make the special effect of this gun kind of pointless. If I was not spec'd into ammo regeneration, or I didn't have a support gunner build and I was just using, let's say, the heavy gunner most of the time, or a class mod that doesn't give me ammo regen on Roland, then this gun would definitely come in handy. It's a good gun to take through the game, like if you find it during a playthrough, which is more than likely. I didn't mention that this gun is one of the more common legendaries in this game. You're going to find it sooner or later. Like, it may even be your first legendary that you find. There's a pretty good chance of that happening. I have found so many of these things. Like, it may have even been my first legendary. I don't even remember, to be honest with you guys, but yeah, that's how common this gun is. So with that said, it shouldn't be that hard to find a pretty good version of this gun. It didn't take me that long to find the masher variant, and it's not like the Unforgiven where it takes ages to find a masher on it. So yeah, it's not like that. You don't have to worry about farming a lot. Since this gun is pretty easy to find, you shouldn't have an issue finding a masher attachment. Now, I do believe if you find one with a masher on it, the prefix is going to be Savage, like the prefix on mine. I at least think so. I could be wrong about that. Another way to check if it's a masher is if you look at the bottom of the barrel, there's like this rectangular shaped attachment, and that's what you're looking for. So if it does spawn with a masher, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'm out of here. Peace!